Hello and welcome back to a brand new vlog. My name is Orion. I post videos every single Wednesday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Well, we are currently in the process of renovating our home, and in the last vlog I took it upon myself to become an electrician and fit some sockets in the wall. And I also decided to bury the cables behind the wall, but unfortunately it looks like the filler has cracked a little bit. Now this isn't the end of the world. The reason it is cracked is because I didn't wait for it to dry and for it to set properly. So in today's vlog we need to get that and that patched up. But the main goal of today's video is to get some final touches added to the snug. Because in this quadrant of the room here, the bed is gonna go, and I want panels that run across here. So I've got some MDF sliced up. Let's see if I've got enough to fill this area all the way around. Oh dear. This is not looking promising. So as you can see, this is what I'm kind of going for, panels to go all the way across. But I actually want there to be a panel at the top here to frame it off. And I only have 2 panels left, which is not enough. Now I could save some by making the gaps a little bit bigger, but to be honest, I like it like that. I'm not going to put panels at the bottom because the bed's going to be there and you're not going to see it, so what's the point? However, I am short panels, so I think we should nip out and see if we can source some extra panels that match the ones that I've got so far. I need to go out anyway because I need to get some paint that Jess wants, because once I've glued all of these panels to the wall and got them how I want them to, this half of the room is going to be painted green. It looks like this, and that's what Jess is after, so fingers crossed we can get everything we need. So the first place we're going to try is Homebase. I am really hoping they have what I need, so I don't have to drive all the way to B&Q to get it. Well, I found the paint that I was looking for, and it looks like they just have one in stock. I'm really hoping that this is the stuff that Jess wanted. Next up, we need to find a pack that matches what we've already got. This is looking promising. It's only a 3mm difference, but I'm going to be trimming them down anyway. Well, that's a great success. I'd have to drive around in this miserable weather trying to find what I need. We can go back to the flat and carry on. That is assuming that the panels that I bought match the ones. Oh, it's off by a little bit. Oh dear. The ones that I've got are a smidge bit bigger. But I don't think it's going to matter because I'm going to use those ones to trim the top so you won't notice. The colour of the board is also a little bit different, but I don't think that's going to matter either because I'm going to paint them anyway. And I don't think I need to prime them, so I should just be able to go straight over with this. At least that is the hope. But for now, let's get them all trimmed up and to size. With this thing, for the first time. Now I ordered this and I put it all together myself following like the instructions, but that's the most worrying part, is that I've used one of these before, but I've never had to put it together. And it arrived like this with all the parts over the place. And I am very aware of how dangerous this thing is. So yeah, needless to say, I'm a little bit nervous about that. So I think we'll do something a little bit more soothing first and fix those cracks. Because there's absolutely nothing dangerous about this. And oh my days, that is looking better already. I just need to caulk the edges now. Beautiful, job done. Now what we have to do is wait for this to dry off so I can sand it down, and I guess there is no avoiding but cutting these things down. With that, I put myself a little bit of timber on there just to do like a test run. Hopefully this is fine. All right, I have absolutely no reason to believe that there should be anything wrong with this. Fingers crossed. Worked a treat. This would have been so useful when I built the frame for that headboard. You have no idea how many offcuts I did using this thing. It took me all day. But right, now that I know I'm not going to hurt myself once I cut all of this MDF down, let's get everything measured up. I want to nail this first time. So with some handy clamps, I know that my first measurement needs to be 112 centimeters for 5 panels sitting vertically on the headboard. And on my days, I had no idea that it did this. But if I flick a switch, there's a laser in it. Colour me impressed. Alrighty, I have 5 boards clamped there. I have it clamped there. It's all measured up. Here's to nailing this first time. Okay, I did nail it first time. Let's take 2. Yeah, it turned out that my clamp was in the way. Nailed it. And now if I've done all my measurements correctly, the panel should fit perfectly on my headboard. And would you look at that? Perfect. However, before I get carried away using the saw and cutting all of the rest of the panels, I need to make sure I get my spacing right. That way I know exactly how many panels I need to use across here and how many I need to use at the top. So using my handy clamp again, and some mind-boggling math, I have worked out the exact spacing I need. Honestly, for a minute there, my head hurt. But now we've got our measurements, let's cut everything down. Oh boy. I love this thing. Where was you earlier? Anyways, I've got all of my MDF cut up and to size, and I've even got some offcuts to help with the spacing. I guess there's nothing left to do but to no-nails this thing to the wall, and fingers crossed this goes as smoothly as I think it will. I've got me no more nails, I've got my tripod. Let's jump into a time lapse. nowadays. You know what? I think I've actually nailed it. Now, obviously, it's not perfect because I've cut corners a little bit, but as it's me living here, I don't think there's actually any issue with that. The corners I cut is realistically, I should have put a skirting across the front of this headboard and then it would have gone flush all the way through. Then it would look really clean. However, once it's all painted and the bed is there, you genuinely won't notice. I feel like this has been my saying throughout this entire process, and that is to trust the process. When we get there, it will look good, he says. Now all that's left to do really is to kind of fill in the gaps here and then sand it all down so it's all smoothed over. Like here, you can see there's quite a big gap there as you see the dark marks. And then we should be good to go. Now you might be wondering why it kind of just goes over and hangs over here a little bit. And that is because if I've done my measurements correctly, this is where the calyx unit will go. So that will kind of tuck in behind the calyx unit and it will look like it stops there. I could bead it off and put one at the end, but it kind of looks weird. Maybe I should have like gone there and then worked up this way and then it would have all been even, but then it wouldn't have matched that there. So it's kind of what it is. A lot of these things are going to be hidden behind other like units, you know, like the calyx unit or the bed. So I genuinely don't think it's that big of a deal. Now, according to my No More Nails, it says I've got about 5 minutes to do any adjustments, which I've done. But then it says it will support 50 kg after 12 hours and fully dry after 24 to 48. So what I'm thinking is I have some lunch and let it dry out for a little bit, like an hour or so. And then I go around and fill it all in, ready to be sanded. And then we come back a couple days later, sand it all down and paint it. Lots of caulking later, I have filled all of the panels. And a little bit of research over lunchtime tells me that I probably should prime these. So what I'm gonna do is leave it for now, let it all dry so I can come back in a few days, sand it down and prime it. Because even though I did that this morning, I don't think it's dry yet. So I'm gonna leave it for now. Definitely better to be patient. I'll see you when it's dry. This might seem like really random for me to throw in at the latter end of the vlog, but it's been a few days and I was just thinking to myself today, I was like, I actually feel so grateful that I get to come and do this. I was like, I woke up this morning feeling super excited to come around and carry on doing the DIY because I genuinely do really love it. And I just want to say I'm really thankful that you guys tune in and show so much support because the vlogs have been killing it recently and you guys keep like reaffirming me that you do really enjoy these DIY videos. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. If you are enjoying them, please do leave them a thumbs up rating. And if you are new to my channel, then hit subscribe. But right, it's dry, so let's carry on. It is nice and dry actually. This stuff is proper solid now. I can sand all of this down, get it smoothed out and cleaned, get ready to basically put primer on it. So as this could take a while, I've got my GoPro out and we're gonna time lapse it. Alrighty, that is a job done. Everything is sanded down and primed and ready to be green. I'm still really hoping that this is the green that Jess wants. But as I now need to wait for this to dry, I might as well ask her herself when she gets here. Hello dear, did I buy the right paint?
Yeah, boo.
So the plan is Jess is going to use this to paint that. And while she runs the time lapse painting all of this, I am sorting the lights out. Because as you may notice, I put a junction box here and I created a new hole over here because I'm going to bring the light across here so it's center in this area of the room. It'll make sense for later, but for now, let's get on with the time lapse. Roughly about an hour and a half later, it is finally green. And if I take a step back, I think it's actually looking really good. It is patchy in spots. I think it might need another coat, as you can see here. It's obviously not dry yet. It takes a couple of hours to dry out. But what do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Has Mummy done a good job?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've been an electrician and I've extended the light socket to the other side of the room. Because for those people who haven't seen previous videos, there will be a divider in the middle of the room. That's why the paint stops here. And this will almost be like an office area. And this will be the bedroom area. And it just so happens where the divide is, the socket was kind of blocking the room. So I've plugged it for now. It needs a little bit more like filler on it because the plasterboard that I used to fill the hole was a little bit thinner than what the actual depth of it was originally. So it needs another coat on it, which will be fine. But I've filled up this one perfectly fine. Electrics all work. If I flick this switch, the light comes on. All that's really left to do with this now is to get the light panel from B&Q and see if I can fit that to this. I've also been chaining together some boxes that I'm going to be using for Jess's desk, but we're not going to be fitting those today. I think for now, we're pretty much good. We need to wait for this to dry so we can add another coat to it, which we'll do off camera. And then the room basically just needs to clean down, emptying out, and start moving all the furniture back in. So by the next vlog, hopefully this will be completely clear. This will all be cleaned up and the sockets will be on the wall and we can get ready to move furniture. But for now, I'm going to love you and I'm going to leave you. I hope you've enjoyed the DIY vlogs on this room. It's quite surreal to see it all come together, and it's mad to think how much stuff I've actually done here, from like extending sockets, like learning how to do electrical fitting, filling in holes in the wall and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people said I could have ran this cable behind the wall, and I would have done if I had this at the time. I didn't have this. This is one of those cable access kits that allow you to basically run a rod behind and pull cable through. I didn't have this at the time, whereas now I do. So I've been able to do that perfectly, even though it does look a little bit messy up there. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. If you are new to my channel and you want to hit subscribe, I do genuinely appreciate it. And if you've enjoyed this video, leave it a thumbs up rating. But as always, guys, it's been Orion. I love you very much. Peace, much love. Bye-bye.